Hello, everybody. I'm Slice, and welcome to today's discussion. Today, I'd like to talk about commendations and how they might work in Hytale. What are commendations? Commendations aim to reward and recognize people for playing the game so that they want to keep playing. Sounds simple, right? Not so fast. Let's think about the whats, the whos, and the hows of such a system. What system do you apply your commendation to? What rewards do you give, if any, for earning certain levels of commendation? Do you give everyone rewards, or just the top 3? How much time do you allow players to award others with these commendations? Who do you allow the ability to award commendations? Stick with me as I'll be giving some examples along with my thoughts on how Hytale could implement their own commendation system. My first example is going to be Final Fantasy XIV. Final Fantasy XIV is a massive multiplayer online game that a lot of people love playing. Parties have a max size of 8, but depending on the activity, that number might be smaller or larger. Typically, though, a team has 2 DPS, 2 healers, 1 tank, 1 off tank, and fill as needed. Early dungeons are capped at a team size of 4, so 2 DPS, 1 healer, and 1 tank. There are raids that can go up to 24 slots. After activities are completed, there's a pop-up that tells players that commendations are available. Each team member has the opportunity to award their 1 commendation to a teammate that they think were exceptional in their role. While you do get the occasional person begging for commendations, generally the Final Fantasy XIV community collectively advocates for proper use of the system. These commendations do have in-game rewards ranging from a simple title to a pet and even a mount. Over the lifetime of playing Final Fantasy XIV, you continue to earn commendations. You can earn slow or fast depending on how you treat others and how well you play and how much you play. There is no reset on commendations. The most effective way to farm commendations in Final Fantasy XIV is to simply play the game and be nice to people. It also helps being good at the game. Reward gameplay and reward being a good person. That's what a commendation system truly aims to do. If a person played out of their mind in their role but was rude, I granted the nice person with the commendation. My next example is going to be Destiny 2. Teams or fire teams in Destiny are made up of generally 3 or 6 players. These teams have no restriction on team makeup. A fire team can have any mixture of hunters, warlocks, or titans. Vanguard ops or dungeons allow for up to 3 players, and raids allow up to 6 players. There are also some PvP modes that range from 3 to, I believe, 5 players, perhaps 6 as well. Any instance activity that has a stat or reward screen at the end of said activity can have commendation awards. There are a decent amount of different commendations available for players. At the end of an activity, the amount of selectable commendations is equal to the party size or greater. Any player can give any one of those commendations to each other player. With very little time at the end of these activities though, and with almost no indication of commendations being available, Destiny 2 players rely on each other and simply remembering that the system exists to be able to award commendations. Meaning everyone gets commendations if the player remembers to access the award screen. These commendations play a part in earning Guardian rank, which is where the rewards lie. There is more to achieve in order to increase your Guardian rank, so commendation isn't the only portion of the requirement, but it's a large requirement nonetheless. Additionally, these Guardian ranks reset every new season, which is typically 3 months. It drops the Guardian rank to rank 6 if you've reached that point before. So if you've reached Guardian rank 10, you drop to Guardian rank 6. Because of this reset and how much is needed in every season, players are encouraged to farm for those commendations. With no limit on being able to award them, very little time at the end of an activity, and no true way to incentivize proper commending, a lot of players resort to speedrunning activities and simply granting their friends commendations. I can't speak for everyone, but I know that that's how I felt with the commendation system in Destiny 2. At the end of an activity, I would rush to get into the commendation screen because for the first few seconds, I'd forget. And I don't personally want to be that person that doesn't help others earn their commendation count towards earning their Guardian rank. Now, we're on to Hytale. Question is, should Hytale have commendations, and is it worth it? Like Minecraft, Hytale will have countless public and private servers. It seems like Hytale will allow characters to transfer from server to server, potentially meaning that any achievements earned by a character could transfer from server to server as well. This could allow the Hypixel Studios team to do global commendations. If handled well, this could be a massive win. However, this poses a rather large risk of players cheating the system and causing an absurd amount of commendation, resulting in useless, broken systems. They could get around this by having commendations being server specific, meaning, my personal server versus their public server have two different tracking systems for commendations. Let's say that commendations are a thing. We could see them in instance dungeons or even boss fights. Perhaps we'll be able to repeatedly complete them. We could see them in party-based minigames, both PvE and PvP. Perhaps there are raids and outposts that could be considered an activity worthy of commendations. So what restrictions, if any, could be applied? Well, without knowing whether or not we'll have a party system, restrictions are a bit trickier to consider. So let's assume that in Hytale, we have a party system and that we do have commendations. To prevent abusing of the system to earn commendations, perhaps a limit could be set. Something like Final Fantasy XIV, where you're only allowed to give out one commendation to a teammate. I believe Final Fantasy XIV's community really drives home how important it is to earn the commendation rather than speedrun the content and dish out Oprah levels of commendations. If we end up with activities that have an ending scene where players can dish out commendations, maybe via a pop-up window or another screen, I'd like to see sufficient time given to the players. I'm talking several minutes. Both Final Fantasy XIV and Destiny 2 have means to exit their activity early, but Final Fantasy XIV does it in a better way where windows pop up while you're still in the live action area, while Destiny forces you into another screen entirely just to be able to access the commendations. As for who should be allowed, honestly, I think a mixture of the two examples I gave would be best. Allow one commendation per person, but allow that person to grant it to any other teammate in their party, rather than restricting it to other classes than yourself. What about rewards? Well, we could see pet rewards like chibis from Ark, if you know those. Maybe mount rewards, vanity cosmetics, titles to have underneath our names, experience, or maybe even reputation bonuses if NPC reputation exists. Ultimately, though, I think commendations within Hytale is a bit of a scope creep. I'm not entirely convinced that commendations truly have a place in the game. Once we find out more about the game, maybe I'll change my opinion, but for now, I'm voting for no commendations. What do you think? Should commendations exist in Hytale? What kind of fun rewards would you like to see? But overall, what are your thoughts in general? Let me know down below. We're going to leave it here. If you'd like to help the community, please consider dropping a like on this video and sharing with your friends. Don't forget to click that subscribe button for future videos, and if you'd like to follow to stay up to date, check the links below so that way you can follow on your preferred platform. We have a Discord that you can join where I'll be posting frequently. Please drop a comment, let me know what you think, and as always, thanks for chilling.